dress was a flesh dress. Flesh dress. Are we not called to be led by the Spirit and not our flesh? I typically don't mind worldly business, but I wanted to take the time to just chime in on the dress that Miss Carrie Baby was wearing and the actions of Jamal Bryant. Now, let me get into this worldly business because while I understand that he was the one that purchased the dress, just because he purchased it as a wife does not mean that you had to wear it. Now, a lot of people are saying, well, the dress wasn't see-through. I get it, baby. I understand it. The dress was gorgeous and the dress gave what it needed to give. Now, the question is not if the dress was gorgeous. The question is, as a follower of Christ yourself, as a preacher of the gospel yourself, as a first lady, as a pastor's wife, was the dress appropriate? And the short answer was no. The dress was not appropriate. Why? Because even though the dress was not see-through, it created an illusion that, baby, we could see what was behind it, okay? Now, the fact that she didn't think that there was nothing wrong with the dress, the fact that he didn't think that it was nothing wrong with the dress, okay. But what was more concerning and more disturbing was the other quote-unquote influencer pastors that were in the comments condoning the mocking of the people that were concerned. Because if you are my brother and sister in Christ, and I see you with something like that, I'm going to come to you and tell you the truth, baby. The dress was not appropriate. If we see our brother and sister in Christ going astray, can we not go and correct them? Do you think, as a man of God or a woman of God, that was the right thing for you to say or do or wear? Just because you can doesn't mean that you should. Just because you think it's okay doesn't mean that it is okay. At the end of the day, the dress was a flesh dress. Flesh dress. Are we not called to be led by the Spirit and not our flesh? If that is the case, why then would you wear a dress that is considered a flesh dress? When you know better, you do better. Period, point blank. As a woman of God, as a man of God, as leaders of a church, as ministers of the gospel. That is it. That is all. I digress.